regular meeting, February the 4th, Tuesday. And we will start with Les Penn. Is he on? Alderman Rodriguez Brown.
Present.
Alderman Tim Taylor.
Present.
Alderman Fred Esco.
Present.
Alderwoman Monica Gilkey.
Present.
Alderman Marquis Blunt.
Present.
Alderman Lafayette Wells.
Present.
Mayor, at this time, hereby call for adoption of the agenda.
Mayor, if I may, we skip the invitation. We skip the invitation.
Oh, sure, yeah. Chairman of the board, Johnny Brown, will you lead us in prayer?
And before Mr. Brown comes, if I may, Mayor,
Yes, sir.
if we would have a moment of silence for the DC claim victims that happened maybe a week ago, and all the lives that were lost during that particular plane crash. Thank you all.
Those lines. Which one we come in now, first of all, just say thank you, Lord. Thank you for another opportunity just to serve you. Father, as we go into this meeting, we know that you're here, Father. We ask that you just touch everyone that's on the sound of our voice, one that may be on their way, and one that's on the conference call with us. Well, we just want to be careful, y'all, to praise you and glory because you are worthy to be praised. Father, we lift up this city to you in a mighty way. Just continue to wrap your little arms of protection around it, Father. Father, we know that we're not perfect. We ask, Father, that you just continue to watch over us. It is in the mighty name of Jesus that we pray. Amen.
And also, Mayor, while we're still standing to some degree, just to keep in mind and keep in our hearts, we lost a giant this past week, and Coach Lewis Love, former basketball coach at both Canton and Pearl High School. They eulogized him on yesterday, so just another one of the giants, pillars of the city who have gone on, which we will all do at some point. Again, thank you.
Sorry for adopting the agenda. Sir. Same as yesterday. Consent agenda.
Open.
Which one is that?
They should be individuals.
22?
Yeah, 21 and 22.
All right, we'll change that to individual and delete consent. I guess they need the word consent.
Okay.
We'll continue on.
Okay.
I make a motion, Mayor, to do about this, with the changes made, delete the consent portion of it, and then take it item by item, number by number.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it with an unreadiness.
Please state your name.
Under the presentations for today, the presentation that says mayoral presentation,
Yes.
yeah, what is a mayoral presentation? Because,
Presentation to guests, by the mayor.
so it's not a campaign trick, it's,
I'm not running,
okay, well, your name is not on
but I'm the mayor.
here. Okay, all right, thank you.
I might need to run though.
You wasn't in the competition. I think that's too late for you.
Get to another moment in time.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on your, I'm waiting on you to vouch for the
With Alderman Taylor.
You didn't answer that.
With Alderman Taylor,
And yeah, wait, no, it's endorsed.
Alderman Taylor's remedy, unreadiness having been remedied.
Yeah, non-readiness is limited, and under the mayoral presentation, will you be endorsing Tim Taylor for mayor? Just give me an idea.
All in favor?
Tim Taylor.
Let's go,
Gilby, aye.
Is that it?
It is.
Motion carried. The agenda is hereby adopted. I present to you Dr. Andre Hines, who was here at the meeting yesterday, and she is presenting to make a step forward. Good evening.
I'm Andre Hines. I'm one of the co-directors of Canton. And you probably know that once a year we kick off the cleanup. This year it's bigger and better than ever because it's Keep America's Bureau, and we're one of the affiliates. It's their big to do. They are 250 years old this year. And so one of the things, like we normally do, we kick off with a cleanup in the city, and you know, many of you have been there. We hope that you'll join us on March 22nd this year for our cleanup in Canton. That will be the beginning of our cleanup. However, we have a lot of other activities that are planned for this year as a result of the 205th year anniversary of Keep American Beautiful. We have applied for grants. We've gotten a couple of grants. And because of the new and improved efforts this year, we have also gotten the Canton Garden Club that partners with us on a lot of activities, most of our activities, to match some of our funds this year. And we hope that we'll continue to have your support also as we have in the past. But today I'm coming asking the mayor if he would sign our 225 Greatest American Cleanup Proclamation. I have it here.
I would love to.
I can get a photo op also,
Oh, great.
like we normally do. I didn't bring my phone, so I need somebody to take the picture for me.
So which proclamation is that, Dr. Harris?
This is the cleanup for Keep Canton Beautiful.
Okay,
You know, we do it every year.
okay.
And so we're asking the city to, in our proclamation, we're asking the city to encourage participation in this cleanup the first one is on the 22nd of March.
Are you gentlemen going to join me?
Please. The motor here. Is there someone to take a picture, please?
Yeah, there he is, right there.
Mr. Greer, will you do that for me? Send it to them.
I have to show him how to use this camera. Yeah.
Where should we stand?
Right here.
Gotta get you set.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the sign.
You got a pen? You got a pen?
I have.
Come on, guys.
Oh, wait a minute now.
I make them.
Day,
look good, don't I?
what day? The 4, it's 2, 4.
It's 2-4. Yeah, 2-4.
Count 3, 1, 2, 3.
$25.
Make sure you get me in
I
case it's going
hesitate
on
every time I have to
field.
write.
Hey, y'all.
Count 3, 1,
Yes.
2, 3. All right, got 2. You want to know?
That's good.
That's fine.
Hey, what vehicle was this one on? See, oh my God.
I need you to-
I just brought one just in case you want to keep one.
Okay, thank you.
That's right. That's right. So we're gonna be putting up a Facebook page soon.
I jumped up.
Thank you, Dr.
Well, I knew that.
Oh, okay. resume for consideration to the Canton School Board. I think we're gonna add, I'm gonna ask, Luana Davis, and where's Tiffany? And Green, where's Green?
She went to get something on the train.
Bank?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Mayor, we do have, Mr. Howard Young with CMU here tonight. I know his name was mentioned last night about some potential monies that they may or may not be getting over there, and I don't know if this would be the opportunity to, get informed or get more information on, that particular piece of money that was, expressed, that was talked about last night.
That was 9:10.
Okay, great.
Yeah, he was 6'7", I saw him when he walked in.
Okay, yeah, we got a couple 6'7" guys here.
There's a poem, what's the name of that poem, Tim?
This one,
Somebody said it couldn't be done,
that was probably,
but I buckled down and
if by Russell
kept it. As the mayor of the city, I want to present a token of expression to Ladrina Wise. See, my alderman don't help me. And to Tawana Davis, if you would have a, up right here. And to Tiffany Anthony, if you would step up front. And this token of expression is addressed to these deputy clerks. Somebody said that it couldn't be done. But on January 31st, 2025, the deadline for the Democratic, Republican, and Independent candidates, you did it. Without a glitch, a hitch, or a problem. I saw your anguish, your frustration, and your pain. But you stood through the moments of adversity, and you made this city proud. And by not having any problems that you could not handle, I thank you for your credentials and certification bestowed upon you by the Office of the Secretary of State to do this job. There are those who may look upon your deed on that day as a thankless one, but I thank you as the mayor of this city, and I appreciate your professional and great deed. And the board as well, thank you. God bless you. Still in the right there.
He didn't let us know about it, so
And I worked with 5 years.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you all.
And with that said, item 6, approval of the claims contractual dockets for January 23rd, 2025, and February 4th, 2025, regular board meeting. Do we have a motion? Did we look at the claims dockets yesterday? Okay. Are there any questions?
accept the claims docket.
May I like to make a second with an unreadiness and acknowledgement?
There's a motion by Alderman Wells that would approve the claim docket. There's a readiness by Alderman Taylor.
I just want to acknowledge the school board president, and I know he's sitting here, and when they go through their docket over there at the school board, it doesn't take but about maybe 2 minutes, and I just want to know, it's not that we are unprepared, we just look at some bigger dollars, and I'm a little bit intimidated by you sitting there, because I know how fast you all go through it, and how complete with integrity that you all handle it. So, thumbs up to you. Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you, sir. All in favor?
That's correct.
Tim Taylor, aye.
Wells, Griffin,
Ten, nay.
We got 2 ayes, 2 nays.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 ayes, 2 nays. Motion carried. Somebody didn't vote.
The thing is that she's not on, she's still online.
Alderman Guilty, did you vote?
You voted in the affirmative, it's 4-2.
4-2, motion carried. I'm gonna take a moment here.
Vaughn, didn't you vote yes?
I don't
You was right.
did.
Okay.
I want to take a moment here in the recognition of Mr. Howard Young in relationship to a meeting between me and others, including Gary Parker, Wagner engineer. And the point of the discussion that we had was as a consequence of a grant that we were to apply for, predicated upon approval by this board for $750,000. And Central Mississippi Planning Development District is the bridge for this grant, MDA. They sent one of their representatives named Jack Davis. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And in order to receive the grant, to receive these points automatically, you have to have a project that helps the entire time. So I presented the concept of what might be helpful would be the water well. I don't know where our capacity is, but the concept was to apply for the grant, $700,000, 10% match to the city. But the total cost of the water well is something like, what, 1.4 million?
About 2 million.
About 2 million. And so we would need to come up with another, look like 1.3 million from somewhere, in order to integrate our grant with CMU, predicated on the fact that CMU may have an interest in it. And that's what that conversation was about. I think it lends itself to additional discussion because we would have to know CMU's input, where that extra money is coming from the funding. I think it's a viable project that would benefit CMU, really benefiting the city and vice versa. So that's the point that we brought up. We wanted to discuss that with you. But we can do that in a different kind of a venue other than this one.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
In addition to what we're looking at, do you all are you all looking at any other type of funding source to do the same thing at
Yes,
this present time?
As a matter of fact, we're on the Michigan Department of Health list. They have a revolving loan of $5,000 with forgiveness towards capacity. And what we're gonna do, once those rates are increased, PSC, and we still kind of go back and forth with them, then we can move forward with that project. So we should be able to do what we need to do.
and you guesstimate that time?
Well,
maybe what?
we've been trying to get race PSC for the last 3 years. Their whole thing is the Lake Carolina area. But, we think we made some headway today. We met with, some of the, administration staff of the PSC today, and it looks like we might be able to get something going pretty quick here, hopefully, within the next 2 weeks. Yes, sir.
Alderman Dale.
With that principle, I'm sorry, you had something?
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry.
Okay, with that principle forgiveness, what is the interest rate that, will you be able to lock in an interest rate?
We will at the time when we get ready to do it.
Okay.
But what we'll do, we'll definitely keep y'all abreast on that whole process.
And what will they base the interest rate on?
The rates.
Okay.
I'm thinking that's what it's.
Okay, all right.
Usually it's pretty good rate for municipality than just for finance.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir, Alderman Dale.
Thank you, man. Mr. Young, your appropriation that you received from the state last year, percentage, what you end up doing with
So
that?
what happens is when you get that kind of money from the state, they have strict guidelines. First thing they make you do is open up an account, and that money goes directly in that account. Then what they actually do is they have an audit, they send us a form. When we cut a check, we have to make a copy of the check, a copy of the invoice, and we have to put it on that form and submit it. So that basically everything that we do is strictly for that Nissan project. We can't transfer that money, we can't do anything with that money, but for Nissan itself. Yeah. So those are the things we put in place to make sure that you do what you're supposed to.
So
So
just,
$6,150,000.
Yes, that's the money that that Mr. Blackman got for us when we were in that crisis. Yeah.
And that money was not a part of the settlement.
No, sir.
Alderman Estelle.
Once that,
Go ahead. So that means that, what particularly y'all doing with the lease on, this time?
Yeah, we have an upgrade.
You upgrade to
We
the
upgrade because of what happened this week.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir.
Alderman Estelle.
once that well is dug, that will increase the city water capacity
Oh, yes.
to what level?
Well, we have is working with Wagner. When we put the well in, we'll put it into our hydraulic model, and it'll tell you exactly where you're located. That's something we've never had, which is a hydraulic model. And it makes things a whole lot precise, and it makes things a whole lot better. And this is probably have loved it, because that's what they use.
Any other questions?
yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That meeting last year, you indicated that your, water levels were in capacity at 97%.
The last one we did was at 89.
At 89%. So there's a decrease.
It is.
And that is good news for economic development in the event that it comes about.
Absolutely.
Okay? Yeah. Also, on your last meeting of December,
Yes, sir.
you put out a memorandum or memo as to the goals that you all had completed successfully and what your plans were for this year. I was hoping that you would convey that over, give the board a copy of that. So we will be in tune as to all the success that's being predicted at CMU at this particular time and going forward in the future.
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, we had an employee, our first actual employee meeting was Friday.
Okay.
And we went through the whole year-end process and what's to come. And it turned out really, really well. And we will get that information to the town banks and. Yes.
One more question, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
On this campaign trail, a lot of questions are being asked about CMU.
Yes, sir.
In the old days, and this is the way it was referred to me by some of the senior citizens, and I remember this, when the bill came out, it kind of told us what our water treatment was like, if the water was good, bad, if there was a problem. I see the boil water alerts coming out.
Yes, sir.
A lot of our senior citizens don't have access to that type of technical information. I know they have phones, but I think a lot of them would like to revert back to the olden days. When they got that bill, they saw what was on the bill. I don't know if this is something that can be considered by you or your board, but some things to accommodate our senior citizens as we go forward. Because I always say this, if we don't take care of our senior citizens now, when we become senior citizens, these same problems will be waiting on us. So if it's broken, let's fix it, or at least let's try to accommodate. What you're doing over there especially with the boil water alerts and letting us know, it's appreciated. But sometimes we have to dig a little bit deeper to accommodate all. They may not get to see you, but they'll definitely see us and put those questions to us.
I would definitely look into it and see what we can do.
Okay? Thank you so much.
I appreciate that.
Appreciate you very much.
And we'll be notifying you about when we can have that talk with Wagner
Yes, sir.
about the, well.
Okay. Thank you, Jim.
Ladies and gentlemen of the members of the board, the next item is item under the heading of financial. That's item 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I would ask you to, we went over these items just yesterday. I would ask you to look at those items, 7 through 13, and see if there's anything you want to change about any of them. I think we went into detail about it. We currently adopt the school system.
And Mayor, you did give us our homework assignments last night, so therefore, I'd like to make a motion that we approve Roman numbers 7 through 13 as documented and as stated.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Tim Taylor.
Yeah,
Well, line
That's right.
Your mind will, oh, you good?
Yeah.
Motion carried. The mayor will take into consideration item 14. I think Alderman Wells had some questions as it relates to item 14. And consider authorizing United Roofing and Construction to repair roof at Canton multipurpose complex. I think that is coming from the trustee, the customer on uniforms. We would have to advertise for that.
Right. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Davis, Mr. Davis previously brought us, an estimate from Anytime Roofing.
Anytime Roofing, Mr. McCorkle, I apologize, Mr. McQuitter, and, Watkins Group. I brought out several quotes on this project.
Right, and they both were either total replacement or, repair.
Yes, sir.
And United was the lowest.
Lowest of all.
Lowest of all. Question, you need, what about, attorney asked this question, state contract pricing, is that,
Well, I can get them back again and let you know, and also we, because I went to table it last night, so we can kind of work out, just kind of evaluate the contract, make sure everything in the contract is situated, make sure, I want to check some references and everything, because of, to make sure before we went into this direction, if that is what we desire to, take, on this task, make sure the wanted, that they can perform what they said they're gonna do, even though they've been in business for several years.
right,
But this is our investment, so we wanna make sure what we're doing, I will get with some, reference
okay.
and have them to come back and make sure we can, give us what we need in order to get this task, taken care of.
Okay, at the end of the legal stuff, I would say, end of their proposal, I would, let the attorney look at it also, so when you come back, we'll be ready to. And, yeah, right, and have a copy of those old ones for it too, so I appreciate you.
Yeah, right.
Checking reference, thank you.
And, okay, so what I do, I will make sure, so we can make sure, I'm not gonna walk back in the phone. I wanna let you. All right, thank you.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
I'll give you a motion to take he gets to check the references and all those particular comments.
Thank you.
Said I would turn it back.
Do we have a second?
My second.
All in favor?
Well,
Tim Taylor,
That's correct.
where am
Ten
Alderman.
Give the app.
Motion carried.
Mayor, before you go on, if I may,
Yes, sir.
I just want to recognize Mr. Davis on last night, and I noticed you do this quite a bit, when you get vendors, and we're probably going to do business with them, and you bring them in, that gives us an idea that you vetted these people, and you've gotten the information that you need to get, and that helps us out, because we can easily say, Mr. Davis, what do you recommend? Because you're closer to the project than we ever will be. You've gone up on the roofs, you've seen what's going on. I don't know if anybody here knows what type of roof is on that particular building. So when you do that, that helps us, well, it helps me with my confidence in what will be going forward. And you do have somewhat the authority to say, good deal, no deal, bad deal. And so with you doing that, I just want to say thank you. And I hope it continues to go on, even in the future. Thank you, sir.
You're doing the job.
Well said, Mr. Taylor.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Now you're asking for
The next item on the agenda was presented to us Monday, which comes under the heading of contract. And that's with relevance to the John Williams contract. And it reads as authorize and approve John Williams contract effective February 1st, 2025 through January 31st, 2026. See attached. Do we have a motion? One.
Can we get Mr. Cruz to the podium?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mr. Greer. Hey, Mr. Greer, how are you?
Good evening, Mr. Davis.
In looking over your contract, I know you told us verbally last night that nothing had changed, but of course, I'm quite sure everybody looked at the contract, looked at the travel expense. Can you elaborate somewhat on that?
It's just a standard expense that I've always used in all my contracts. I've had it since I've been here. It's never been an issue before, but you all want to modify it or take it out, it's fine with me. But I rather use that particular expense. And when I do, I always document it and send it to you all. So you have it.
So this, and this is the way I understand it, the expense is not added to a monthly paycheck. So it is not actually an extended amount of a salary, a stationary salary, in addition, because it looks like it could be, if used, an increase of $8,000 a year.
Right, whatever cost we use, if it's used, that would be the city's responsibility.
Right, right.
I have one question, another question, Mayor, along that line. It says, implement a city and business recognition programs and develop and coordinate a yearly business or corporate banquet at the city's expense, right?
Sir?
It says the develop, a business recognition program or program and, coordinate a yearly business or corporate banquet. Is that city under one of the areas that says work review form? That's the city responsibility.
The concept was to recognize our businesses throughout the city, both small and large. And the expense was hoping that we would do, like a banquet, we sell tickets and stuff, not the expense of the city. But it was just to recognize businesses, it's a way to bring the business community more involved with the city government more involved with the city businesses. Whether large or small, mom and pop or corporate man. A lot of cities that I know are engaged in that, and I thought it's something that we wanted to attain, or should attain.
You know, that's interesting. It's nothing against you. It seemed like that would be something that the Chamber of Commerce would be doing.
Possible. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Because when we see these ribbon cutting, usually, and it's not even the city of Kansas Chamber of Commerce, it's always the city of Madison or Madison County Chamber of Commerce. And I do know, and I may have brought this to the board maybe 2 years ago, when John Wagner first received us in DC and had everything set up, and with the monies that we've been getting, you know, I know he told me personally that we should at some point recognize Benny Thompson. And I don't think we ever did anything to that degree. When these people host us and lay out the red carpet the way they did, because we didn't have to rent a hotel room to have meetings in or anything of that nature. And I don't know if it was something that he may have discussed with Congressman Thompson, but I know it went dormant on our end. Nothing took place. And this is not with you. This is just a nervous conversation.
The mayor has asked for a motion on this matter, which was the first motion. And the mayor has a motion on this matter, which is the second motion. I should have said second motion.
Now I can make a motion that we approve the contract with some notation of the traveling expense.
I'm sorry, sir.
With the notation of the traveling expense to be looked at. I know that's not a complete part.
That means looked at, removed, eradicated, done away with.
Are you asking for some kind of provision for it to come back to the board before the travel?
A provision to come back before the board.
Before the travel part?
Right.
To be approved.
To be approved.
In advance. Is that what you're saying?
Not in advance, to come back to the board at a later, but once we look at it and discuss it, because I don't think anybody discussed anything last night, other than just reading it. And, you know, I know we read it, but nothing has been discussed, and I know that the expense itself stands out.
Well, you know, travel includes, you know, hotel, lodging, food, and all that.
Right.
And like, that should be in advance. If we're gonna make the decision to say yea or nay, about it, we need to know in advance, not make, you know, he's done to disagree, if it's accepted to the board, make reservations and all that, and then we say yes.
Well, we look at it from a historical standpoint, it's never come up before, and the contract has never changed.
Well, it changed from the first year, the year following the first year had the travel allowance, and the first year did not have travel in it.
Okay,
It did not, did the script,
It has always had.
it had travel.
I never, but all my, I never used it, it's just been there as a standard for me when I do business with cities and counties, but it's never that, I have all copies of that I have my signed copies.
Okay.
okay, and let's go back down there, right? Remember, the first contract was lost and nobody had it, nobody had seen it. Yeah, so,
Yeah.
but when it was produced, it's the same contract,
Right.
yeah,
Well, I'm trying to pull.
okay.
What is the motion?
Waiting on,
Yeah, we're trying to get some clarification there,
Okay,
so that we can, finalize the motion.
well, the clarification surrounds
Sure.
travel. And what is that process? And historically, what has been the process? I mentioned historically, the process has been the allocation of a certain amount of funds for travel, which is $8,000. And so then the question becomes, if he utilizes $3,000 in travel, and what happens to the remaining $5,000? So are you asking that travel, that travel is, the travel is to be made known to the board so he can do a requisition of, for that particular trip, who's going to DC or Dallas or wherever, a travel voucher or a travel amount. I think that's what I'm going, considering that. Is that what we're saying?
and I just heard Alderman Esco in advance approval. It just resonated, yeah, it just resonated, yeah. I think my defense goes up so hard, that I don't either, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Based on approval in advance, I got you, okay.
We can make an assignment to him, and maybe going to DC or some other
I got
place.
you.
And it's approved in advance, and we back that up, you know.
Okay, sure.
But it's already approved, not whereas he go
And
and
just
do
do it.
things on his own
Right.
without any approval and send us bills, after bills, without our prior approval. So this way we'll know in advance what he's doing.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you for that.
So is it to follow that the change in provision is a requisition for funding for travel with that particular travel experience? Is that what we're saying?
I would say use the standard, state allowance.
Yeah,
The standard per diem?
Standard per diem. They were gonna do
And if we
that.
are approved beforehand, we do want to get them, like beforehand, when it comes back and brings it, just approve that.
Right.
We did that.
yeah. So let me ask this, and I know, with other contracts, what are the provisions in the contracts? I don't have that type of memory unless I look at it. For instance, what's in your contract for travel?
When we try, my travel is specifically stated, I only travel to 2 conferences, 1 conference per year. That's the MMA, only thing to see place for is our registration, and that's detailed in the contract. That's all they pay is registration. Now, if there's additional, there's something else that I would like to go to, this would benefit me as a city attorney, I'll request it and get an addendum approved to that contract with all those details on there, exactly what the city's paying for, hotel, airline, et cetera. It'll be detailed on there. So with contractors, you normally just do an addendum to your contract when they want to do some travel. So that's what, it's kind of like who in advance. We have to come before y'all do an addendum to this contract, and then you have the details in there, what you're approving, specific hotel costs, airline costs, et cetera, and how it benefits him as a contractor, benefits the city. Benefits the city and how it benefits the city.
Right.
Okay.
So, motion.
That's my motion.
Let's take the motion
second.
I'll say.
You second? All in favor?
I have one ready.
Southern and Veterans by Alderman Brown.
Mr. Greer, can I? Few questions is, simply, how long have you been on board with us so far now?
If we approve a contract, we go into 30, I think.
And I know it states on the, duties where it's community development, economic development, infrastructure, development, and workforce. Do you have any tangible projects or businesses of development that you can specifically point to, show, speak to, and provide it to the city and what's the part of these duties that you presented are to perform?
Right. I worked closely with Crestwood until we couldn't go any further. I worked with this until we couldn't go any further. I have worked with a number of developers who wanted to develop the hollow, but they never, end up not really having funding. This is from various developers that Doc and I met with. So I'm always engaged with Makita. I think I built a relationship with the city with Makita. Not to say you didn't have it already. I have a very good relationship with our board of supervisors. Again, I'm not saying we didn't have it before, but I get these feedback that I'm appreciating for being in the room because it brings some wealth of knowledge and it brings some benefit to the city, to the county, as well as the people. So I'm sort of always, as much as I can, in the loop without being in anybody's way. And I try to be factual. I don't try to blow smoke up the line. I just try to tell you how it is. We've had in 2023 just a slew of meetings with our business community. I brought in federal agencies and state agencies to come here. We've had banking institutions to come meet with the community, meet with you all. So there's a myriad of things that we've done that I think has been effective that that has a great value to it. Sometimes things are beyond my control, and I cannot control. I can't make a business land here. I can help and facilitate them land here. I can't make federal agencies or foundations get money here. But we can try to bring everyone to the table to make a difference. And that's what I try to do. I try to be an agent of change without getting in anybody's way. And disturbing anybody, just being a bridge to bridge from one side of the highway to the other side. And that's not an easy task sometimes. Because of the image that we have. And I don't think like other people do. Other folks have asked me why do I want to engage with Ken, and my question is why not? I don't see the things that people, this image thing that we talked about last night, this board meeting, I don't see that image. I do see that we have allowed other people to appropriate our image because we haven't raised enough cane at the table in terms of things going on. We have a lot of industries that's coming around the city of Canton. And I've said this before, we need to be more outspoken on. I think Canton is poised for citizens to benefit greatly from these job opportunities. But if we don't say anything, they're not going to build themselves. So I think that we have to sort of be the clarion, the screaming to the industry to say, listen, we have good school systems, we have good people, we have good people with values and morals and want to provide quality, a decent quality of life, a livable quality of life for the citizens. And that's what I try to do. And that's what I'm always conscious of. And I try to keep you all involved as much as hard as I can. I always try. That's one of my languages of communicating, making sure I keep everybody involved. Now, I know you don't have time to check your email all the time, but that's what I do. But I know you don't have time, you have other things to do, but that's just my way.
Thank you.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly?
And, thank you. The other night, you stated that you and Donna, you've been working together on projects. Can you state those projects that you're all working on?
Yeah, Donna had a concept of doing some beautification projects, some redevelopment projects that'll benefit the city. We're trying to locate the money for the projects. And one is a green space type project for the whole city. Particularly, Dr. Trudy had told her that we wanted to look from railroad track coming in on West Beach Street. And so those are some of the things that we're looking at trying to do. That's one of the major deals is developing the green space, managing beauty of the city, particularly in the interest area, the interest corridor. So that's what we're trying to do. We got the Kellogg Foundation that it's kind of, they don't say they give us money, but really it's a lot of help to look at for September 1st. We have the USDA Natural Resource Conservation, Kurt Reedus, talking about the same time period. So those are the two main agencies. Now, there's one other that I've been intending to call, but I haven't called, that's the Delta Regional Authority. Corey Williams, who's a Kellogg fellow, and I know much about the Kellogg fellow.
And you were over the agency one time, right?
No, not the agency. I engaged in it when it first began.
Okay.
When they had its first executive record, when it first opened in 1990. But I knew it well then, and it hadn't changed much. And I know quite a lot of people that are there now. I don't know if it's going to change with the new presidency, but Dr. Williams is over. He's executive director. He's the co-chair, executive director and co-chair.
So with the wealth of knowledge that you and both Ms. Yao have, and I mean, you're here more often than most contractors are, with the exception of Attorney Banks. She's here every meeting. With all these agencies out here and all these networking capabilities, why is it that this particular city sees none of benefits, doesn't benefit anything from all of this? Because, I mean, 5 years and counting, there's really not much we can touch or put our hands on. I believe with patience, things will change. But there is a statement in some speech that talks about the fierce urgency of right now. And how can we prepare for the future if we have no idea of what's going on? And I'm not talking about you, but I am talking about Ms. Yao, because I don't think we've seen that much of her. And I'll tell her when she gets here. But I know you work with her. So there are some speaking points to some degree that I expected. I'm
Waiting for your honest assessment.
Yeah.
And this is an honest conversation I've had before with other elected officials like Thompson. And he lays out bare, better than anyone I know. He's just very brutal with it. It's brutally true. The city has to get its act together in terms of its finances, its audit, those type of things. You can try to go out there and bring opportunity, but if you put in the paperwork and your paperwork is not in order, you ain't gonna get nothing. I mean, just the brutal truth.
So when we look at Wagner's engineering and all the things that we've been able to achieve through them, the NCWI grant was what, $500,000 at least for the national grant. And it's a grant, it's a fixed grant. It's there. And, you know, look, I know Congressman Thompson knows what he's talking about, but when you read these Mississippi Business League pamphlets, a lot of cities are in worse shape than we are, but yet they're getting the types of monies that we can't get. I know previously we did get $500,000. But when we look to Gadsden City and Greenville and Greenwood, and they're getting these millions of dollars for infrastructure, for sidewalks, and our sidewalks are going up too. And we're not getting these types of money. Greenfield got about $8 to $13 million. Right. And Lexington got about $8 million.
Those cities I kind of know very well.
Okay.
And historically, they have not had any significant financial qualified findings. Mostly audit has been unqualified, which is a good audit. I know the mayor election, I know the mayor of Greenville, Greenwood. I was in the Delta for 20 some odd years, and I worked with them. I rented them a lot of money for my time there. And you're gonna get a few, you can get a few grants here and there.
Yeah, because Gadsden City has some major issues.
See, I don't know,
Yeah.
that city, I don't know, I didn't do much work with them. Well, I did when Mayor Leach was there, that was many years ago.
Yeah, but they have some major problems now, and they're getting major money. I have yet to see $1 million come into the city by any representative representing the city. I haven't seen it. And I mean, I know it hasn't been that long, but there are things that we all have to pay attention to. And when we go to these meetings, we hear the gestures about the city of Canton. We hear this. And as I told the gentleman last night, consistency matters in politics. If you got the motivation going, the goal should be to get you some consistency. But when you break it off, it's inconsistent and you get nothing. The most successful cities in the metropolitan area are cities that have consistency going on. Mayor Hawkins has been there since I graduated from high school. And I've been out of school 42. How long have I been out of school? Alan? 41 years. Yeah, 65. And she's been there. Mayor McGee, consistency. The mayor over in Clinton, consistency. So when you continue to break that pattern, this election will probably predict, and this is on talk radio, will probably predict if there's major change at this table, and especially with the mayor. The prediction is the city will be set back 8 to 12 years. Because it's a fight to get to the table. And when we weren't welcomed right off, and I think they saw that we had a little business knowledge, and some things started becoming a little bit more lenient. Even at the Board of Supervisors, we share the city with them. When they come to work, they come into the city of Canton. They see just what we see. They see the needs that we have, but we were getting absolutely nothing. One particular time, there was $6 million on the table to repair our streets. The statement was made to us. We decided to take that $6 million to give it to Gluckstadt because you all were too busy over here fighting about who was going to be mayor and all. I was slapped in the face. Every city that goes through an election have debates, disagreements, concerns, and to some degree, there is some dysfunction. But when it comes to Canton, the umbrella is closed up and the range is 4 zones. And the citizens that understand how hard it is trying to change an image that's been there for so long. Our city is known for corruption, disdain. These are the things that we hear, and I sometimes like, well, they know it's from Canton, because usually we have a Canton local on. And there's nothing good that goes on in Canton. Period. At least that's what they say. And we know better. But every time something negative comes out, in Canton is highlighted, when the same things are going on in other cities. My question is, and my heart goes out to say, why not Canton? Why can't we get what others are getting? Because we have human beings here, too. And I know people ask, why did Gluckstadt grow so fast? Well, we know that people are not willing to invest in a place that doesn't take care of what they have. And there's a major fight getting ready to happen, especially with Canton Public Schools, Bill 1431. Let's circumvent that. We know that. And I hope the next people that take these jobs, they better be readers. Because if you don't read, you're going to get left behind. It's as simple as that. So, not beating up on you, but I got to ask the question, why not us? I know you can't really answer it. I heard you say dollars. Hopefully we're going to fix this by firing the auditors that we have. And I hope they're watching because we are going to fire them. In order, this will put us in a better place. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Carol, we're having a motion. Vision change was accepted. Alderman Wells standardized per diem.
It was, when it came to, Attorney Banks said, he would present, for his travel, he would make an amendment to his contract at that time. Once he presented to us what his travel was.
Okay.
And we'll determine, whether it's missing, whatever he's going to, that it will benefit not just him, but us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that the understanding that the amount that is stated here for, travel would be removed and instead placed with what you just said?
Right.
In the contract, so
Right.
that that's what it would read instead of.
What it says, it's something
Right.
8,000 as the president states, a travel line.
As a president states.
Right.
State.
So that would-
Why would you go? You're taking up. Okay.
We'll do an amendment to that contract.
All right.
That's
The amendment to the contract.
in terms of the travel allowance.
Ma'am? Yes, ma'am.
So, is there a cap at 8,000, or that's?
So we're not capping, if anything won't desire to go to XYZ, we need to know what the seminar is offering, and then we determine if what it goes to my head, and it's up for the travel with. Right.
Okay, the second thing, what happens if he has an event or a conference before the next board meeting?
Yeah,
Just like us.
yeah, special.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's special.
I have a Zoom call.
Yeah, on me. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's all we do is that clause with, go to amendment, to his travel.
So we can just amendment to the travel.
Yeah, right, or just exclude this, and we'll do an amendment to his travel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exclude what's
Amendment to the
with,
contract
right,
that expresses the travel provision.
right,
That might be something.
right, and that,
An amendment to his contract.
Right.
That expresses the travel provision.
right, but exclude this, that allowance right there.
Yeah, for travel.
Right.
All right, do that.
Yes.
What's the provision?
Also satisfied, everyone understands, all in favor?
Brown, name.
Tim Taylor.
Yes, sir.
Gary Al,
Well, right.
Gary Al.
Again, nay.
Motion carried. The next item is an item, is an item of hiring. What's his first name?
Jeff
Mr. Jeff Williams, as an inspector to review residential and commercial plans of the city of Canton. We've hired him before.
Man, is it Williams or Williamson? I thought it was-
Williamson.
It's
Is it Williamson?
Williamson, yes.
Okay, Alderman Wells is saying we need to put it O-N-S.
Yeah. It's on.
S-O-N.
Yeah.
S, S-O-N.
Williams.
Okay, S-O-N. And Jeff in front of it?
Yes,
Jeff or Jeffrey?
it's Jeff.
Okay.
Jeff, J-E-F-F.
Okay.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Mayor, before we go forward,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask Ms. Taylor to come to the podium.
Ms. Taylor.
Right, you're right, right, yeah. Tell me, yeah, I was
I
right.
got you. Yeah. Well, I think y'all full of motion to go into the wrong numbers.
You making the motion?
I am.
You made the motion to hire you.
No, just go forward with
Oh, well.
motion to vote on that.
No, you gotta have the motion before you.
Who made the motion?
No one, you just called up.
Right, and Alderman Brown referred back to Robert Rules of Order, so I said, let me go back. Okay, call for the motion, and then when I get a second, I'll do the unread. Okay. And she's
I'm
on
on
that.
there.
Okay. I'll second with an unread.
Other than that,
Okay, and while we got Ms. Taylor at the podium, thank you for what you're doing in the absence of, Mr. Matthew. I know it's been, a task over there for you. With Mr. Williams, have you had the opportunity to work with him in the past?
Yes,
And what is his professionalism like?
he's very efficient, coming in, getting the plans and returning them back and reviewing and giving us a little, printout of what they need on the plans if they're not already there. So he's very efficient in that area.
Is he a local person?
Yes, I think he works for the county at some point. Now Brandon,
Will it be part-time or full-time?
he's part-time, he's contracted through the, yeah, with the county.
Okay.
What about the salary?
And you dropped his draft contract, he agreed to that.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it.
Williamson, it was the same agreement he had last time.
Okay.
He added a couple of things.
Okay.
Is reviewing commercial plans,
Okay.
like commercial plans.
Okay.
Alderman Brown.
Mr. Leary, how would he work in tandem with the individuals you have in that department now? Would they,
Well, he's worked with
no,
Antonio.
I'm saying, how, moving forward, what would be their role, day-to-day role?
That's
along
always
with-
to do what?
Versus he, because it seemed like he's coming in to fulfill.
Well, actually, Antonio don't review plans that I know, house plans or commercial plans.
So I'm on the inspection side, so he won't.
Well, he does inspections.
Okay.
He does. And Jeff just threw in an inspection just in case if someone wasn't in the office and we needed it.
The guy in hired.
Yeah, Jeff Reeves.
All right. Mine ready, Mr. Member. Thank you, Mr.
Alderman Blake.
Some say what?
That's what I believe.
Brian, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Motion carried. The next item is a task order, which is item 17. Consider to authorize Wagner to do task order for Edwards and May Street. Task order.
So right there at the school, between Ellis and Mays, right there at the corner, AC Road.
yeah.
And I don't know what's going, I don't know if buses are going down there or what, so. It's right there. Now, I'd like to make a motion that we approve, form number 27,
Do we have a second?
17, I'm sorry.
Do we have
I
a second?
second with unread.
Ma'am,
So she's
I
second.
second it with unread, I'm sorry.
Alderwoman Guilty has an
I
amendment.
have one also there.
And it's followed by Alderman Wells. What is your recommendation?
I know that it says, Edwards and May Street,
With Jackson, all the Jackson.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go
But
ahead.
I was wondering, what were we gonna do about are they gonna do a tax order or are we still gonna let this Mellon and Public Works work on the ones on, Airline, Cicero, Singleton and West?
Apparently not as it relates to item 17, so do we need to request or add a task order for those particular streets?
Well, dusted, to get it looked at. Yeah, and that would be a public works matter. And also, our lady Gilkey brought up with reinforcement, it's either Edwards or R.L. Jackson Street and May Street with the erosion, and of course, with the kids going through there and the parents dropping kids off the street. So no task order was mentioned,
No, it was just,
or, yeah,
it was just for them to go look at it.
right.
Right.
That's what, that was my understanding, man.
Okay.
Ms. Gary Clark back there,
Yeah, can you speak to this?
you should have heard the same thing, that's what we said last night.
Yeah.
Just to look at it and help you come back and report.
Yes, sir. So y'all don't have to authorize us to tell us to go and look at a project site. If the board wants a project turned out of it, we'll go and do the assessment and then provide you all the task order on location.
Okay.
But just to get way out of the there's no extra.
But you got those streets listed.
I've got Edwards, Mace Street, Adeline, and Jackson Street.
And last night, we talked about Brooks.
Yes, it is.
East Brooks.
East Brooks.
Yeah, East Brooks Street.
Right.
And it was another one you said, it was two. You said.
I can't hear what you're saying.
He said Adeline, Signal to
And I'm forgetting again.
Isabel and Welch.
And you said Brooks and, one more.
They already have outside.
Yeah, so look at it now.
Brooks Street.
Yeah.
The ones in my ward were, the corner of Adeline and Isabel, Adeline and Singleton, Adeline and Wilson.
Okay. Right.
But what did Melvin say last night? What did Tony say?
Well, I was talking about,
East
we were
Brooks.
talking about Brooks.
Okay.
East Brooks. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That should be all of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll go take a look before the week is up.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Item 18 is a scholarship, consideration in-kind donation to top of the educational ministry in New Zealand. $500 for the use of Canton complex for scholarship and compliance with Mississippi Code Annotated 21-1965. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Tilly, aye.
Brown eye.
Front table line.
That's the one.
Well done.
And,
Mayor.
Did everybody?
Yes.
That's everybody?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Mayor, before you go forward,
Yes, sir.
with, Roman number,
19.
is it 19?
Yeah. Is that the next one?
No, 18.
18.
18? That's
Yes,
what
it
we
is
did.
18.
Yeah, there's a Mississippi code here, and, it's 21-1965. If the attorney would explain that particular code, since we do have people in the audience that are just looking at numbers.
That code section allows, municipalities to only donate pursuant to statute. So that code section allows municipalities to donate to community service organizations in an amount that matches an amount they already have for a donation. So I contacted South Liberty Education Unity today and just confirmed with her, they have received a donation already that is a matching amount of the in-kind donation for the cost of the one person $500. And she confirmed that she had that in her offer. So that's the matching grant donation statute under 21-1965 for community service organization.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
With all respect on that now, once they get the contract, are they gonna, the date that they requesting and the contract be filled out so you get the mayor's signature, that has been a conflict. You give these individuals the date and they wait too long to confirm the date. Let's make sure the date that they requesting be ready to, so we can put it out. That's what I'm saying.
This week.
Well, hey, they didn't get the contracts over because, hey, just talking in the pool, they didn't come to the contract, got someone called, then it'd be another problem, all right?
So very quick, Clerk Dave, give her a call. Yeah, so she come, with a contract.
Since you're up, Mr. Davis, I want to ask you a
For
question.
that particular, date. Yeah, so it's a date for having everything.
Yeah, so we signed on the contract, agreed, that's it. Cause they're procrastinating, yes, sir.
Yeah, and I know, this is not on the agenda, but the concert that's taking place tomorrow night, did this board approve that?
It's not a concert, Alderman. She came in, it's not a concert, she's doing a community service, that's what it is. It's not a concert.
With a blues singer?
Well, people have had parties, have, other singers out there, but it doesn't fall upon a concert. She has said she's gonna have a community, awareness thing, that's all now. For the blues singer, it's just like a weird reception having someone else, so but as far as that part, I'm just saying what the contract states.
So if you have a wedding reception, nobody else has to fill out a contract, nor does it have to be approved?
Well, she filled the contract out, but they don't.
That's what I'm asking.
She filled the contract out, but she has said she had a community event. And the concert basically charged money, but she's not charging money.
Okay. So I guess what I'm asking is, that venue has been approved by this board?
No, that venue was not, it's just like a person, from weddings and everything else now. Yeah, they don't approve all those events, so I don't think.
So they don't need security or anything like that?
Well, yeah, she's gonna have security all that part right there now. But still, the protocol won't fall upon that part right there, but.
I'm only asking,
I know, but
you're educating me.
You just turned out as a concert, it's not a concert.
Well, anything that's attached to a blues thing, I think is a concert.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think so. And, when I was at, the department store today, Joseph Banks, they were like, you having a concert? I didn't know anything about it.
Yes, sir.
So that's what threw me. Yeah. That Bobby Rush would be singing just as he did for the mayor 8 years ago. And I don't know if that was a concert, I don't know what it was.
They didn't charge
It was good, no, they didn't charge.
You didn't say a ticket.
Bobby Rush and I have been friends for years.
Yeah, well, that's all I'm asking.
So everybody support you.
Yeah, you can reschedule for me, but yeah, that's all I'm asking.
But answer first, I'll tell you, it's not, it wasn't put in as a concert, it's a community awareness, event. And, so it's not a paid event. If it would have been something else, a concert, I would come to you guys and get approval.
Okay.
Something of that nature.
Yeah, can you imagine being an alderman and 4 people walk up to you and ask you about a concert
Yes, sir.
and you know nothing about it?
Well, that's not a concert then, but.
Well, again, if Bobby Rush is involved in it, people, the outside people, outside of you, will think it is a concert.
Okay.
And I had no answer for it, other than, I don't know who I called today to find out, because I didn't know anything about it, especially on Wednesday night. So, yeah. And I know you never said anything about it. Not that I'm knocking it.
Nobody else have
Yeah, but, just so we be informed. Did you all know? Maybe you all knew something I don't know.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, you knew about it? What about you? So you see what the consensus is. That's all. Thank you.
My computer was not, I couldn't print out the calendar event. I told you guys, normally I give you guys, when a person book the facility for the month, I give you guys the calendar for that month. And she came in later on and booked it again, so, and due to the fact that the internet is down out there now since last week, I couldn't get you, and I told you guys yesterday, I could not print things out, so, but 80%, 90% of the time, when I give you guys a calendar, it'd be the event that's gonna take place.
You are correct.
Yeah, so,
You are correct.
due to the fact this didn't happen, I apologize for not, we'll call AT&T, ceasefire, see can we get that taken care of, so it won't have this problem no more.
So you were not able to clean it out at the end of the month of December?
I try to get to,
Okay.
Dr. Anderson tried to have things in at a certain time.
I got you.
So it wasn't able to get to it at that time.
I got you. Okay.
All hearts and minds satisfied?
Yeah. Thank you.
Item 19.
It's Andy Brown.
Item 19 is an item of an audit. Authorize and approve Novum Advisory, PLLC, certified public accountant for audit and services. Did we address this?
It was in our proposal, we talked about it yesterday. Yeah, I read the term, did that come in?
It's a proposal.
Proposal.
I would say that you need to bring back a, I think, recommendation letter for your approval. That's just a proposal,
Yeah.
what they can offer and how much the rate is.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, she need a motion, proposal with engagement letter.
Pending approval. of the
Oh,
gate.
right.
That's the process.
Yeah. Then then we authorize and approve this proposal, but, the final approval comes once, send us the,
Engage.
engagement letter.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Brown egg.
Where's our?
Tim Taylor, aye.
That's the name.
Here we go.
Motion carried. This item 20 is, speaks for itself. Approved ratification of engagement letter for government consultant Inc. for consulting and municipal advisement for the city of Canton promissory note. Do we have a motion?
And I only have one change on that there, but I will.
Do you have a motion?
Now, a motion that we, accept the, engagement, letter, for government, from government consultant.
And I'll second the motion with one readiness.
As a second by Alderman Taylor, with an amendment, please get to the
Attorney Banks, can you bring us up to snuff on this?
Yeah, so the one proposed change that I had, oh, I'm sorry. I know there was a fee amount structure that was agreed to by the governing authority, if y'all wanna put that in there, that not to exceed, that amount, put that in there. Also, the last sentence, right before disclosure concerning the term of engagement, I have a proposal to strike that and put any recommendation of tax matters with respect to the issuance of the note to be recommended by the municipal advisor or a separate professional recommended by the advisor. That's the only simple change that I have.
Okay.
One readiness, written.
Alderman
I
Brown.
just have one question, what service would they be providing?
They're gonna be providing municipal, advisory service with respect to their promissory note. Now, the only
What
issue,
purpose?
the one that is for $560,000. Now, the only issue that I'm trying to work out with Mr. Thompson, I sent him an email, someone had a conference call about a couple of days ago, and I did say too, but I haven't gotten back with him, is that he has the amount to exceed of $600,000. The amount we originally agreed on was $560. And so we have published for the $560, so we're gonna change that, we need to kind of work that out and see if we're gonna increase that amount based on what he's looked at from the municipal advisor's standpoint. But that's the only difference, I guess, with where we are now with passing, is the difference in maybe $560 to $600,000. So, just know that that's out there. That's not, I didn't do that, he included that. So I had to give it to him to find out why he did that.
All in favor? Okay.
Tim Taylor,
Brown egg.
Is that with the two changes?
Yes, we have that motion to reflect,
oh, I'm sorry.
that his fee was not to exceed, what, 5,000, I think, we capped that services at 5,000. And as well as, any recommendations that he may have that, concerning tax matters with this, loan. That's what, that should be noted in that motion.
That it should not exceed $5,000.
Right.
And any are you saying, any recommendation he proposes?
Concerning that, right, yeah, tax
Yeah.
matters, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't forget, the two changes, from the attorney.
Right, yeah, that's what we're referring to, yes. Yeah. Okay, that's it, Mayor.
Okay, did everyone hear the motion?
Yes.
Everyone understands the motion? Okay. All in favor?
Well,
Tim Taylor,
Brown egg.
That's what they.
Alderman, Alderwoman Hill. Can she hear us?
Can she still?
Is she still on
Alderwoman Gilkey?
Yeah, but you know,
It's 4-2.
yeah, she doesn't know, so it must carry. Item 21, authorize and approve the reappointment of Mr. Johnny Brown and Mr. Rufus Meyer, Junior, to the Canton Housing Authority Board. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
With an unread.
Doesn't read it, so,
And since we have these two distinguished gentlemen in here, Mr. Brown, who's a long-serving member over there at the Canton Housing Authority, and I know Mr. Ruben Myers has served one term. Love to hear from you with all the wealth of experience that you have. We know we get Mr. Beasley in here quite a bit. We don't know you all exist sometimes. But since we see you in the flesh, we love to hear from you.
Good evening, Bill.
And I'm accommodating Mr. Brown because every time I go to a school board meeting, he always recognizes me. So.
No, being the senior statement on this board of commissioners, well, first of all, thank you all for having this group that we have, that's been working outstanding. We've been senior 30-some years on this. This group that we have with Ms. Myers, Justin Nichol, Charles Jackson, Ms. James Down. We're working diligently to change the image of Canton when you come to housing. I think you all have seen some of the things that we have done, but they're just only a few things that we have that's on the horizon that we're trying to do. And what you all supported with this community support, we're gonna do our due diligence. Because being part of this board is very important to me because, hey, I come from that development. That's why I work so hard, and if I had to serve on anything in this city, that's the only thing I want to serve on. This can't happen. Because it affects all people. And Ms. Myers, ladies, great co-worker, all them co-workers. I think it's important with the minds that we have on our board. They come from different backgrounds, and that's great. When we go to our conferences, it's very well represented. They know me because of my tenure on the board, but with Mr. Beasley as our leader, I thank God for him, because we have not always been in the position that we are in right now. But I just want to thank you guys, first of all, for the reappointment, so we don't have to lose no sleep night over there.
We had to read out what you said.
You got all the rhythm right here. But we just want to thank you guys. We're going to continue to work.
Can I?
yes, sir.
Are there any development you can speak to on the horizon that we can make the public aware about? What time you're developing in the market that we can look to?
We're trying to get this rad, thank God with Joe Richard home. We all know the age of that development. Go over there now and see some things with the roof and all that. To me, that's disappointing, but we don't want to get to the point where you have to replace something when you're talking about having a major demolition. That's going to be wasting money. So we're trying to prevent that, but if it comes to that point that we have to do what we have to do, then we're going to repair and move on. But we did the Addison project. You go on Home Avenue, you see the renovation of that. We're looking for anything that comes available in the city. We got a good relationship with the banks. We also go and purchase houses. We try to move our tenants at that threshold or with their payment and stuff. That at that point they're almost it's too high to be in low income housing. And hey, we give them the house. We pay for the down payment system, and we try to make it a true smooth transaction for them to go into home ownership. We got to understand, we don't want them to think that, hey, when you get there, you stay there. No, we're going to get rid of that stigma. That once you go there, you got to worry about paying the rent. Right. If we tell the truth, we more cars over there than any developer. You know income, you got that many cars. But it is what it is. It was like they went out with it, so hey, I'm not throwing stones.
Right.
I don't believe doing it, but, we got some things on the horizon, but as they come available, we're gonna present it to you. I think it's easy, it's been a problem with you about.
Yeah, I just wanted, I was really looking to get to the, where were we with that? I know we, back here, we was looking at acquiring those monies to maybe do those renovations. You know, that you spoke of, for trying to obtain those monies and funds for the development of Joe Preacher Home and the other one over on Dobson. I just wanted to just get a kind of update to see where we were as far as that's coming along. I mean,
Well, we're moving back. I mentioned last night, we're moving. We had a meeting with Greg Burns, as I shared with them last night. He used to work for HUD about 20, 30 years. And so it was a very good meeting. So we, with the board was in on the meeting as well. I bring them in when the guys come in. So we kind of got a lot of headway on reducing our deficit. We had about $2 million deficit that we were trying to make up. But based on the Section 18 glean, which is a little, it's rad, but it's a little twist to it. The federal government's made some changes, so that will allow us to raise another probably almost $3 million in capital to cover our deficit. So we should be able to kind of get moving now along with the $3 million that we got from the direct appropriation from Wicker and the congressional staff, or Wicker and Hyde Smith and out of HUD. So we should be moving, hopefully pretty close. That kind of puts, we still got still got $1 million appropriation request sitting at the state office right now. So we requested $1 million. We made it to the final day of approval last year. We're hoping we can get it early. But we think we made that up. So if we get it, it'll be great. If we don't get it, we think we'll still be able to move forward. And we're gonna do it in phases. So we're gonna do the largest development is phase 1.
you have
Then
this
we'll move over to.
maybe, of just roughly not hard.
Yeah. I mean, we have to turn it in, so we have to do the financing plan. Once we get our financing secure, we'll submit the financing plan. And usually that'll take a couple of months to get approved. After that, after submittal, so we're thinking it'll be a minute before we submit it, probably about mid-year. And to answer your question, then it'll take about a year, because you gotta do a relocation. You gotta try to get everybody out. That takes a minute, because we don't have enough units on the ground to try to get everybody out. But the beauty of it is, under the new plan, they will get tenant protection vouchers. So that means everybody that's there will get a voucher if they wanna leave, and they can take that voucher wherever they wanna go. So they don't have to worry about their rent. They pay 30% of their income, just like they pay today, and the balance we pay by the federal government. So everybody has an opportunity. Now, if they take the tenant protection voucher, they can't come back. If they decide to move, then we'll guarantee, if they just say, I'm gonna move and wait, then we gotta get their first deals. But their housing is still covered. And we've got other properties that they can use to take the vouchers in. As Ms. Brown said earlier, you can actually take a voucher and buy a house with it. So we've got houses all around, they can buy a house from us with a voucher. They can rent a house from us with a voucher. Yeah, they can rent one of our other developments with a voucher. Yeah, so everybody will be made whole. So the tenants will not be, just, but to answer your question, we hope within a year, we should be starting some demolition, start tearing down some stuff. Maybe a year and a half, we hope to be tearing down some things. That answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And then we'll go to, in the meantime, we may be able, now, and I better get back with them, we may be able to even build something or buy something in the middle, in between that, where they'll have a place to use their vouchers, and we make it actually empty over here even first.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Thank y'all.
They sound good.
Yeah, they sound good. Okay. Well, let me say this, and I think you all should know this, that when we take these trips are not a thing. Your housing authority leader over there did a very good job last year. And I think the money that came back was about $2 or $3 million.
$2.2 million.
How much?
$2.2 million.
$2.2 million. So it just lets you all know that what he does, we see now. I think I'm the only alderman here that argues with him the most. But, you know, Mr. Brown, I know you have the same passion that I have about Joe Christian Home. Every board member here got a book for Christmas from me. And in that book, it talks about the cycle of the United States and what took place in those horrific times, especially in Mississippi. That particular project is about 70 years old. Built at the same time, a popular complex was built in Chicago called Capri Green. You saw that on the Jeffersons, I think. That's what it was. So we're in contrast with a lot of things that go on in the United States. And the only way you can get recognized for a lot of the things that do take place is your leader has to be somewhat fearless. So every now and then, you all thank him for what he does. And I'll continue to fuss with him when he come over here. Thank you all so much.
There's a motion on the floor.
You say?
All in favor?
In favor?
Yeah.
That's the right.
Yeah.
Motion carried. As relates to item 22, authorize and approve the appointment of blank to the Canton Public School Board. I think there are 3 people in consideration. One is Jackie Griffin, who made a presentation yesterday. 2, Dr. Shabaki Jenkins, who is not here today due to illness. And 3, Dr. Andre Hines, whom we passed out her contract to the Albany. And if the board wishes to hear from Dr. Hines, I know we've heard from Dr. Griffin. What is your pleasure?
If it's more wishes, we can hear from them, because we gave Dr. Griffin opportunities.
Yeah.
Let's give her an opportunity for us and take her intent.
Do you need your resume? Did you get it? I just did it.
I know y'all haven't had it on. Again, I'm Dr. Andre Hines. I certainly am committed to education. My family is educators, actually. My mother taught at Canton Elementary School. Y'all probably don't know that. Alternate Thurman. I've been teaching at Jackson State University since I've been in Mississippi for the last 10 years. I teach graduate students, I teach some undergrad as an academic. My full-time job is teaching public policy and administration. I teach public policy, urban politics, a lot of the things that you all do. I teach leadership, seminar on executive leadership. One of the programs that I taught in, actually our President Thompson, who is President of Jackson State, came through, and I had the opportunity to teach him. And that was in urban education and leadership. I teach nonprofit management. I teach about 10 classes. My background is in healthcare administration prior to teaching. I did a little teaching part-time in Illinois also. I don't know what you'd like to hear from me, so I'm open to answering any questions you have from me.
I just want to, one question is, talk to us a little bit about your grant writing skills.
Grant writing? Well, as a product consultant, I've done a lot of grant writing, actually. I currently am writing with several organizations, but the most significant one is Black Men United out of Illinois. I'm a very, very successful grant writer. I guess my history is about 85% positive when I write grants. I've written grants for mostly for nonprofit organizations to bring in TANF money to bring in, economic development type of funding. And that's mostly what I've been focused on, economic development. All of that is in Illinois though. Even though I reside here, I write, because I lived there for so long, I write grants for, organizations. And I love to write about the city of Canton also.
I have one last question, and that is, what is your proposed description of our educational system here
It's,
in Canton? And how do we move forward?
wow.
I know that's a big question.
That's a big question. One of the things I heard, I think it was yesterday morning, I always look at the news at 5 o'clock in the morning. One of the things that I heard yesterday morning is that we have made significant improvement in the last couple of years. And, you know, that's encouraging. And I think the only thing we can do is continue to support our educators and make sure that we have the right folks for the job educating our youth, because I get them, you know, after they get out of the public school system, and I do teach for public school, of course, at the university level. But I think the best thing we can do is just continue to make sure that we have committed people who are really invested in our youth, because I heard the gentleman here say that one of the, if he could be on just one board, it would be housing. And housing, certainly, you know, I can't think of anything as important as housing, but I think education has to be right up there with it, because we do know we perish for lack of knowledge. And we do need to make sure that our youth are prepared when they leave our public school systems. So that, because if they're not, if they don't get that head start in our public school system, then they won't make it further. And we'll find that they're at a disadvantage in just every area of their lives when they don't get that basic education. So I think that what we're doing, we certainly can do better. I mean, I'm an educator, so what you expect me to say? We need to pay our educators. One of the things we need to invest in our educators. We need to make sure that they get the support that they need. One of my great friends is an educator, used to be an educator. My girlfriend Marcia Mabry, she talks about, you know, when she was a teacher here in Canton, and we talk about that all the time, because we talk education. But just the need to just continue to make sure that we have the right people making decisions, people who are passionate about education and our youth at the table. I think that's the most important thing that we should do.
Thank you. I don't have any questions.
Mr. Taylor, I know you have a question. I welcome your question.
Don't get him started.
Well, as a former school board member, I did serve over there until they.
For a short period.
Yeah, they kicked me off. This very board kicked me off that board, with the exception of all the Nesco, with everybody else voted against me. That's okay. They never knew they were gonna be working with me. What draws your interest in the Canton public school system? And I know you're an educator, but as a person.
Well, a lot of my students come from the Canton public school system, and so as a person who is invested in people and understand the importance of a good early education, then I mean, that's my interest. A lot of my students are from Canton. They go to Jackson State, and if they're not from Canton, they're from cities like Canton. And I, you know, my job is to see them do well. I tell them all the time, you know, I'm not one of those easy professors, and I get a lot of complaints. And actually, I work with them. I work with some of the undergraduates as you know, a little moonlight in public health. But in public policy administration, I work with the graduate students. But the other thing that I do is I lead them into areas of the dissertation. I share dissertations. I mean, my my heart is for people is for our, youth and adults to reach their highest, to achieve their highest goals. And I think that, the best way to do that is to making sure they have a good education. I mean, a good education is like a good meal. I mean, it's like a good diet. You can't be healthy without it, in my opinion.
I heard a guy at the computer board say, with all the scandals that the city of Canton's gone through, especially with the Canton School District, and it was offensive to me, but with all these scandals, what would make somebody want to be a part of a system that corrupt? I couldn't answer because I got mad. And when you get mad, you can't think, and anything may fly out of your mouth. So I chose to adopt the Fifth Amendment on that. But if a question was presented to you in that manner, with the time that you've been here, how would you answer such a question?
I'm glad you're not asking me that question because
No.
because I have to plead the fifth also. I think there's corruption everywhere. And I think the best thing that we can do is look at what we have and just continue to try to do better. I'm probably not aware, honestly, of corruption that you're talking about, honestly. But I mean, I've been in corrupt systems, and there's corruption everywhere. However, I think the best thing we can do is make sure that we don't become a part of that corruption. That's the best thing I can do as a person who is proposing that you vote me on the board, is to make sure I don't become a part of that corruption, and that my heart is where it needs to be, and that's to see that people, that our students and our residents get the best education.
Well, maybe I gave you the wrong type of the cheating scandal that took place in Canton School a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And you're not familiar with it?
I am.
Okay.
Actually, I am familiar with
Okay.
the cheating scandal.
So that's what he was referencing.
Okay.
And forgive me for using the wrong title. So that's what I want to hear from you. Yeah.
Give me your question.
The question that was asked of me, that was proposed in the meeting, why would anybody want to do any professional work in the city of Canton?
Okay. I don't think you can have a better person. The way cheating scandals and stuff like that changes, getting the right person in place. I think that's the way that you change and make improvements. And one thing about me, I've never been a part of any cheating, and I never would be, because my heart is for our residents and our children to excel, and they want to excel. In fact, we cheat them out of the opportunity to excel when we falsify records. And why would I want to be a part of it? Because they won't change it. They won't change it if we keep the same people in place who is a part of that kind of thing.
So you don't believe in rewarding for bad behavior?
Rewarding for that? No, absolutely not.
Okay. All right. Okay.
No, I don't believe in rewarding for bad behavior.
So,
Hope you'll consider me.
No,
I want tough questions.
Yeah.
Give me something else to think about.
Yeah, good book to read, The Calm Before the Storm. They're not going to read it. It was just a gift for them.
No.
Oh, you started reading that night.
Storm before the calm.
Yeah, the storm before the calm. I'm sorry. Yeah. I got you.
I'll look for it. Any other questions for me?
Any other questions for Dr. Hines?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
As it relates to that, I do have a motion. One.
Oh, speaking up now.
What is that?
I said in regard to item
27.
We're on school board.
Oh, well, man, I'd like to make a motion that we hold off on this matter because there are two other people that want to come before us with consideration to become a member of the Canton Public School Board.
Statutory.
Mm.
It can be held over.
Good.
That's happened before.
Yeah.
They didn't appoint everybody and they're just a holdover. I'll find out like within those days. They're holdovers.
How long ago?
Oh, no.
How long?
You can always make an appointment now. You can always,
Yeah.
you don't have to wait those whole nights. That's just the amount of time that it's going to take where they cannot receive any more funds, et cetera, et cetera. But they will serve in a holdover capacity when their term is over. And that end period is when they cannot receive any more funds, et cetera. But you all can always make an appointment. You come to the next meeting and make an appointment.
And I'm talking about the second meeting of the month.
Yeah, you
By
can.
that time, yeah.
But the person, the president of the city cannot take that.
No, they're holdover.
They hold over.
Yeah.
She taking action. She taking action.
Until those days are expired.
My term is not up until March first, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's right.
Yeah, it's March
You
first.
can still take action to all that.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, March 1st, anyway.
Yeah. So,
Who the was off?
Cleveland Anderson. I think the lady's name is Dr. Culp.
Dr.
Culp, C-U-L-P.
She removed that name.
Oh, she removed the
She
name?
removed the name. She lives outside of the district, she says. She's in the county.
Okay,
She's in the
okay.
county.
Mayor, if I may?
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Floyd Chambers was also interested in that position.
Dr. Floyd Chambers.
Thank
Okay.
What's her name?
So what might need to happen is, in that circumstance, there are two other people, I suggest that we close the door
Yeah.
on those two and have them to come before us, hopefully we get a special meeting. I don't really wanna wait 2 weeks to get this resolved. If it's okay with the board.
But you know what, that schedule is stupid.
Yeah.
You wanna speak, you said with Mr. Anderson,
But the question is,
President Chambers.
I think we need to give both of them an opportunity to come before the board. So
Absolutely.
we can coordinate it, so they can come the same day, moment. I would think that each member is not taking up more than 15 minutes.
no, that's true.
Yeah.
And Dr. Lincoln, since she's president.
Sir,
Dr. Lincoln, she presently sits, in that position.
Right. And I was contacted by a former superintendent, with 3 names, but those 3 names hadn't gotten to me yet, so just in case, get ready, get set.
so we're looking at Reverend Dr. Floyd Chambers and Mr. Cleveland Anderson. Is that
Yes.
right?
Dr. Lincoln, I think y'all let the, clerk notify him to get the information in as soon as possible, we can set up, a date that, we can, hear.
Okay, then. That's fair enough. In that case, I need a motion to take, not to table, but to demonstrate that no action is taken.
Okay.
He said no act.
You can say, okay, no.
Yes, he said no act.
No action.
No act.
All right, so in that circumstance, the mayor will call for executive session. Just a moment, wait.
What, you got a motion?
I had a couple of things. One thing, I wanted to answer Tim's question. I'm a transplant here. I'm a transplant here, and I get offended when I hear people talk about the school, and I couldn't sit there and just not say anything. We've got to make sure we market what all these individuals sitting around this table are products of Canton Public Schools. And we go out and let people talk about our school system. And you can't say it in my presence. I will get upset with you because you got doctors, You got people running state departments of education down in the state of Mississippi. You got veterans, this man daughter is higher than the Navy. You got people here running non-profit organizations, running millions of dollars. And people sit around and talk about
Well, you
how
heard me
bad
say,
it can't.
you heard me say that I did get upset. I did get
You
upset.
can't, I just can't allow it. Because I go all over this country, and we got people all over this country, in California, every state. They're running organizations, they're doctors, they're lawyers. And then for people to sit around and talk about how bad our school system is, how appalling that is. And I'm telling you, I can't, I sit there as long as I could. Because when you ask that question, well, we've got to start marketing. And we've got to start showing our brightest and our best. Okay, we got individuals that are running corporations graduated from Canton public school. But if you listen to the narrative for the rest of the county, all you hear is how negative the school district is. And I don't believe it. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Thank you. May I take a motion to go into executive session? All in favor?